The Godfather is about a powerful Italian-American crime family of Don Vito Corleone, played by Mr. Marlon Brando, who was only 47 at the time, portraying a grandfather. His son Michael, played brilliantly by Al Pacino, reluctantly joins the mafia and struggles to maintain a normal relationship with his wife Kay while being involved in a vicious cycle of violence and betrayal. It's a mouthful of a movie with a lot of characters, rightfully so, as Italians are known for having big families. There's Michael, Sonny, Clemenza, Tom, Fredo, Connie, and of course their spouses, kids, friends. Again, mouthful, but now watching it a second time, it's honestly pure genius. The film won Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Writing. And though I love Bob Fosse, The Godfather would not have been possible without Francis Ford Coppola's amazing direction and just Francis Ford Coppola in general, so I'm still a little bit salty about his Oscar snub. So my impression of the film? I loved it. I envy Italian families. They're so big and loving and fun. Just look how joyous this wedding scene is. This scene takes place right at the beginning of the film, while simultaneously cutting between business meetings.
You don't even think to call me Godfather.
At first, I thought the wedding scene was overexposed until you realize how underexposed the office scenes are, even with the windows open to broad daylight. This is the first shot of the movie, and it's a one take that lasts for 3 minutes, ending with these two characters' silhouette. I view this choice as two guys participating in shady business, hence their blackout. Aside from that, and overall, I was just in awe of every single location they shot at. So, in pre-production for a film, there is a location team made up of scouts and managers who determine what location would work best for a scene, and they really did an amazing job with The Godfather. In a later part of the film, Michael runs away to Sicily for 2 years, and Italy is already just such a beautiful place on its own, but the medieval villages they shot in Savoca and Forza d'Agro were amongst my favorite. Speaking of favorite, welcome to script versus scene. So my favorite scene in this film takes place between the brothers, mostly Sonny, Tom Hagen, and Michael, where the famous "It's not personal, it's strictly business" line is said. And that, it's a really bad accent.
The Turk wants to talk.
I usually like scenes like this that really let us see how an actor portrays their character.
What did he say? What did he say? Bada beep, bada bap, bada boop, bada beep. He wants us to send Michael to hear the proposition.
None of what Sonny says or does in this moment was even written in the script. Now, I love Al Pacino, and this by far is one of my favorite scenes of his in The Godfather.
Come on, Mikey.
Tom, wait a minute. I'm talking about a cop.
Pacino was able to stay within the context of the original script, yet make it so much more personalized and true to his portrayal of Michael.
You're gonna search me when I first meet them, right? So I can't have a weapon on me then. But if Clemenza can figure a way to have a weapon planted there for me, then I'll kill them both.
Also, can we just quickly talk about that push-in shot and his outfit contrasting with the blue chair with hints of blue from the lamp behind him? It's just chef's kiss. And now to our last segment. Out of the 24 Academy Award nominations, the 3 we're focusing on today begins with the cinematography. The Godfather was shot by Gordon Willis, and there is one particular scene I want to focus on first. This is by far my favorite shot in the film. So this character, Luca Brasi, is sent out for a job only to, spoiler, be killed. But take a look at how they foreshadow this. Okay, pause. Do you see it? Clearly the shot ends on Luca Brasi behind a glass. but do you see that there are 2 fishes in frame? As in swimming with the fishes? As in, if someone is swimming for the fishes, they are dead. Specifically, murdered. But it gets better. A couple scenes later, Sonny is given this.
What the hell is this?
That's a Sicilian message. It means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Another great example of these foreshadowing images is of Kay, Michael's wife he tries to keep out of the family business's loop, who quite literally gets left out. Take a look at this scene when Michael finds out that the Godfather's been shot. Kay is literally left out of the box. Now, let's take this and compare it to the last shot and scene of the film. At this point, Michael's taken on a certain position, and when it's time to start discussing business, she is left out. Overall, the production design for The Godfather was so unbelievably amazing. I am still so shocked Dean Tavares didn't even get nominated for his work. But besides my frustration, I of course loved all of the mise-en-scene, especially when Michael was in Sicily, aka my future home one day. But this was just one of the many scenes I liked in particular. So, just a casual scene, a nice day for some fruit. But because I'm a detail-oriented psychopath, I really appreciated this detail. Do you see it? It's a poster! In the back, it reads Jake LaMotta and Tommy Bell. Well, when you look those names up, it turns out that they are 2 American professional boxers, a part of this huge fight back in January of 1946. Just so appropriately placed between Christmas shopping scenes. But to even really hone in on the specifics of the timeline, there's a following shot of the Radio City Center, which reads Leo McCarey's The Bells of St. Mary's. And if you look that up, you'll find that it's a movie that, guess what, was released on December 6, 1945. With that, now we know it's just a week or 2 before Christmas. Clearly, you could tell from the Christmas shopping that it was around Christmas time, but it's so cool to realize the little details added to shots that go over your head, but adds to the great picture overall. Just look at the back of this shop. Every scene was so masterfully set-directed, and I am still upset 50 years later. It only took the Academy to see Godfather 2 to finally recognize Dean's work. I mean, look at their wallpaper and the choice to have Christmas cards as decor. It's just little details like that that contribute greatly to the cinematic masterpiece. And now to the last Academy category, costume design. Although they didn't win in this category, Anna Hill Johnstone was still nominated for her incredible work on the costume design. I just normally love men in suits, but there are so many great ties and color combinations throughout the entire film on them. If you really pay attention, it's almost interesting that a family of crime would wear such various patterns and colors. But to the overall picture, let's focus on Kay. In a sea of almost invariably black suits, Kay is consistently so vibrantly dressed in mostly warm tone colors. And to understand her contrast with the rest of the family, take this scene for example, she steps out of this colorful cab with a bright red dress into a sort of dull and bleak color palette. Speaking of Connie's wedding, you'll notice that the Godfather wears a red rose, while Tom Hagen, Fredo, and Sonny, all his sons, wear white carnations. White carnations symbolically represent loyalty, which is true, all 3 are loyal throughout the film, but ironically, the groom, Carlo, is wearing white calla lilies, which symbolize purity and innocence. Except we later learned that Carlo is anything but that to Connie and to the family.
Don't be afraid, Carlo.
Those are just little costume details that I love, along with the obvious, like Carlo's orange suit here. And I don't know why, but the Godfather's outfit here was amongst my favorite looks of his. Just a gray jacket, faded olive green inside, and a burgundy base tie. So what'd you think? If you watched this film, did you previously notice the things I mentioned? Most of my observations came from watching this film for a second time, which is just one of the things I love about cinema. It's okay if everyone doesn't see it or get it. It's meant to be seen again and again, and with every watch, there is always something new to discover. If you want to say in what movies I get to review next, I have polls on my Twitter twice a week, and if I somehow get a chance to watch any movies outside of the ones I review, you can follow my Letterboxd to keep updated on that. Thank you so much to the American Film Institute for providing the 100 greatest American films of all time list. 1 down, 99 to go.